Hello everyone, this is Johannes and you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and today we are taking a look at a new party game released by CGE Czech Games Edition and designed by Vlada Švatel, and this is That's a Question. So let's talk about how the game plays and I'm gonna tell you what I think about it. That's a Question is a really simple game to play. You are playing as these squirrels moving along this breaked up mountain to try to get into the clouds and get the most points. The way you're gonna do this is that you're gonna ask each other questions. In the start of the game, one player is gonna get this question board and all the other players are gonna get these nuts. You can either choose to have them on each side depending on what kind of nuts you think squirrels eat. So you're going to give them around the table, and that's the setup of the game. You're going to also give each player 5 of these answer cards, and you're going to put a set amount of these answer cards onto this space right here, and you are ready to go. So let's say I am the player who has the question board. I'm going to take this question board. I am going to take 2 of my answer cards. The answer cards are split into 3 different regions based on the 3 different questions. I'm gonna go into what the questions are really soon. I'm just gonna go into how it basically works first. So I'm gonna choose a player who has a nut, and I'm gonna take their nut and I'm gonna give them this answer or this question board. I'm gonna choose a question, so put it that side and put 2 of my answers down here. I don't try to make anything interesting right now, I'm just putting it up here. So in this example, my question would be, which would you miss more if it ceased to exist? A. Photography, or B. Wikipedia? And that isn't a really interesting question, but this game is all about making these interesting, strange, or funny questions to each other. And you also want to make a question that isn't too easy or too hard. And then the player who gets asked the question is going to choose which would I miss more. Let's say for me that would be maybe Wikipedia. I would choose B, and that would be the right answer. All the other players are then going to choose A or B. Let's say somebody choose A, somebody choose B. Then I'm going to reveal, oh, the answer was B. And everybody going to reveal. And then what happens is that you're going to score points. So for each person who scored the right, or who answered the right answer is going to get 1 point, and the person who asked the question is going to get 1 point for each person who managed to answer the wrong answer. And that's basically the game. I'm going to pick 2 more cards, and then it's going to be the next player in player order who gets this question board, and you go around until this is depleted. Then you play 1 more round, everybody gonna ask a question, and then the game is over. The person who has gotten the farthest up on the mountain is the winner of the game. There are a couple of other things. You have these 2 kicker tiles that you can use. This is the question mark, exclamation point, question mark. This is if you think the question is really hard, you can put that under your marker. And this way you will score also points for everybody who did the wrong answer. Also, if you're really sure on an answer, you can do it times 3. If I'm like, I know you're gonna say this answer, you put it under, flip it over, and if you are correct, you will get 3 points instead of 1. There are 2 spaces here, bigger spaces on the track, where when you come there, you will get 1 of these back. And that is basically how you play the game. First, we're just gonna go through the other 2 questions. That is, whom do you consider worse? Someone who, let's make the same example, someone who makes fun of less fortunate people behind their backs, or someone who discovers their employer is committing tax fraud and reports it. So whom would you consider worse? Well, that's a question. And the last one is, which of these would you choose? So here it is, to be able to walk through walls, or to be able to motivate anyone to reach their full potential. So as you see, there's not just stupid questions, there are actually thoughtful questions that you have to think about. And that is basically all the rules, and that's a question. And that is basically how you play That's a Question. So let's start out with the components. The components are the things you can see. It's really simple, but it works. I like the squirrels. I like how they look, squirrel meeples. I do think everything looks great. The color coded is okay. Everything is beautiful. I like the art of the board. I like the art of the nuts. It's funny that they ended up doing the two-sided for people who are not sure what squirrels eat. I like the components. They are simple, but they are really, really functional. So, what do I think about this game? This is a party game, and I don't really play party games that often. I usually, when I play games, it is when I have a board game evening. We play board games. We do that. We play like board game. But sometimes it's fun to have a game that you can play with people, either when there's people around who don't usually play board games, or if you are in the mood, just over a couple of drinks and playing a game that is like this. And there's a lot of games to choose from when it comes to party games. So how does this come out? I really like this one. We have played a couple of times. We played it actually at the game night. That was okay, but we were thinking like it will be more fun if you play it in the right setting. We played it New Year's Eve. That was a perfect time for this game. This game, the beautiful is it's really, really simple to learn, which I think every party game should be. The rules are simple, and the thing that makes this game good, the thing that makes this game so interesting, is that it really is made to make conversation. It's really made to have these questions, and people will say like, oh, there's only 3 questions. Yeah, but there's a lot of different ways you can ask these questions, and if players play right and make the choices really hard, you will start having these conversations about all these topics around the table. So this game is a great conversation starter. I must say this is a game I think is best played with people you know or kind of know, because else you don't really have any way to guess, of course, and it's going to be more of a guessing, like this is what I would choose, but maybe you are different, and then that can start an interesting conversation like, why did you choose that? For me, that's obvious. I would choose A and you chose B. So I think this game does that really, really good, makes that conversation. This is not my favorite party game of all time, and I don't think it's going to be like a new Codenames. Of course, Codenames just overblown and exploded into the universe with Disney and Marvel and everything. But it's really fun to see Vlada make something like this, even though I would like to see him do some more heavy Euro games that he's so good at making as well. This game is well put together. There's a bunch of these answer cards. You're not gonna get the same ones, and if you will put them together differently, so there's so much stuff going on. It would maybe be nice with an expansion with even more questions, so that you don't really ask the same 2 questions all along. But these are some good questions for making dilemmas and making it hard. Really easy questions that makes it interesting to talk about it. I don't know what to say else about this game. It's short. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's a fun game. Trying to think of anything negative to say about it, but there's like, if you like this kind of game, if you like a social game that's more about having an activity together, more about talking with each other, then there isn't really anything bad to say about this game. It is great. And I have to mention the rules, because Vlada is known for making really funny rule books, and this is no exception. I laughed out loud while reading the rule book. It's splendidly laid out. It's hilarious, and it teaches the game really well. I will say we have played this game with 4 and 6 people, and it's basically good at either count. I wouldn't really. It's from 3 players. I don't really think I would ever play it with 3. I think 4 is the minimum, but I think it will shine most at 5 or 6, because it's basically more people to talk about all the topics that's coming through. And that is everything I have to say about this game. If it seems interesting, I think you should check it out. It's a good party game. It's kind of different. I don't have many games that are so topic based or so conversation based. It's more about the conversation than about getting points, but of course you still want to get points and actually win the game. So that's a question from CGE Vlada. Thank you so much again for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe, please like, please comment. Thank you so much. I will see you next time. Bye bye.